Good evening. Today is the 20th? 21st. Today's December 21st. It's Wednesday. So, we only have a few days until Christmas. Recently, we banded together and did some good things. Was able to get, and I'll put a little clip in here from when I went and picked it up, was able to get that game system for the young autistic boy that otherwise wouldn't have, his mom didn't know how he was going to have any Christmas this year. And if you're familiar with special needs kids, a lot of times they like what they like and what they have an interest in and what they can focus on. And they're particular about that, and that's what he likes. So that's what we were able to get, along with some reasonable amount of money, coming unexpectedly like that, along with it to his mom and for him and for whatever they may be able to put it toward for this holiday season. At the same time, we did do well enough that what I consider to be an emergency situation arose where, I was tipped off to an elderly person living alone, a widow that has no heat, and it's cold. It's cold to have no heat, and they don't even have the ability to burn wood. So fuel oil is high here right now, but we were able to get enough fuel oil to that person that if they use it judiciously, which I'm sure that they will, because even a little bit of heat is going to be a hell of a lot nicer than no heat at all. It should get them through these cold months. So here I am again, and I just want to say, we're on a roll right now, and anybody that knows me personally knows that the reality is, ever since I started Guerrilla with the calls, and the reason you haven't seen me petitioning for any kind of assistance or help for quite a while, really, is because I became pretty broken down, kind of beat down with just this whole scene as far as, what's possible, what isn't possible, what's likely and what's very unlikely on social media. And I understand a great deal of it, but I was very naive at first. When I first started Guerrilla with the Calls, when we first started that up, really thought it was going to catch on like wildfire with the positive videos, with the inspirational videos, with the videos just sharing that it's better to be, it's a worthwhile cause to endeavor to be a better human being, no matter what that encapsulates and where you are at now. Just to try to do 5 charitable deeds or 5 good deeds a day, 5 random acts of kindness. And some people already do these things. But other people, there are people out there that don't even hold the door anymore, don't even realize it, don't even think about it for other people out in public. So I was on that kick, and I was getting up in the morning, and I was cognizant that I want to try to perform 5 random acts of kindness. And you know what? Deliberately setting out to accomplish that every day, and that's in addition to what would normally just occur to me. It made me more conscious of my interactions with other human beings in the world, and it actually was making me a better person. It actually was helping. It actually, truly, honest to God, was. So, what I ended up finding out, though, and there are a lot of awesome people out there, man, that are down with the idea, that get exactly where I'm coming from. But I really thought that positivity would overcome negativity. Positivity, there would be a huge market for that. But there really isn't. There really is not. And it's a hard sell. So I've drifted away from making those kind of positive videos. And I want to try and get back into some of that, But the whole point to this whole channel when it initially began was the whole muscle thing and the nutrition and the weightlifting and training and all that crap was only the hook to catch people in, and then I try to slip in when they're not paying attention some positive message, every so many videos that they were the real true inspiration behind me even starting this channel. Yeah, so I need to get back to more of that. I know people don't want it crammed down their throat. People don't want to be preached to. And I'm not trying to do that because I'm no better than anybody else out there in particular. We all fall short, and I have fallen short multiple, just a multitude of times. I couldn't even recount how many times, you know what I mean? And I still do. But I get to sleep every night because I realize I'm cognizant of it. I'm conscious of it. I'm aware of it. I know I fall short. And I do care about trying to do better. You know? And that's a start. For some people, it's a lot. So, you know, even in light of the reality that I realize that the person who burns down the barn becomes more infamous, and that person's never forgotten. We're always going to remember the person that burned down the barn. But the person that carried the lambs out to safety, that person's forgotten. The person that burns down the barn becomes more infamous than the person that carried the lambs out to safety becomes famous. That's the world we live in. And it's not everybody, but it's plenty of people. Plenty of people. So that's all I'm here to say. I'm, you know, ever since I started this channel, like I started out saying, anybody that knows me can tell you that it's never been a money-making proposition. It's never, ever, ever been remotely profitable, ever. And that there's been frustration, you know, because I have spent lots more, you know, lots more money than I've ever earned or garnered through this channel, or even what has been donated. I've exceeded that by way far, and we've always fell short, and money's always been tight, you know? And there are awesome people that help out. That's why we're able to do what we just did. And that's freaking great, and that restores my faith in humanity. I know that there are good people out there, and that's what matters. That's what makes it all worthwhile, you know? Just getting up every day, that there are good people out there, man. And that this isn't a horrible, horrible, terrible world altogether without any hope that your kids are growing up in. There are good people out there, you know? So the whole no bystander mentality, that's on the back of our shirts, says no bystander. That's all about just declaring to society I'm not a bystander, you know? Just letting people know that, hey, man, if you don't have a friend, if you're alone in the world, if you lack confidence, if you're scared, you know, if you need help, if you see that no bystander on the back of these shirts, that has always meant that, hey, there's somebody that recognizes they are their brother's keeper. And that you have a friend. And there is somebody that does care. And a lot of us, you know, our appearance can be a little bit off-putting sometimes, so we're approachable. That's what that should say to people, you know? I thought it would catch on like wildfire. But I'm grateful for the really awesome people that I have, that participate, that are here, that support the channel, that watch the videos, that even click on the things. I'm grateful for that, and I would rather have quality over quantity. So I'm thankful, and I thank you for that, and I appreciate that. And I want to wish you happy holidays, man, and Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. And I also want to say that, you know, as Christmas is only a few days away, I am still trying to come up with, I'm trying to help out as much as I can. So I'm getting on with it. I'm, you know, trying to, these angel trees, I'm hooked up with a church that some of these families are in very dire straits. It's not a hustle. It's not a ploy. These aren't people that are doing very well and just looking for extra. These are people that could really use it. So rather than a poor child, you know, if that's your life and money's that tight and things, I'm sure there are all kind of stressors all year long. But at least this one day, you know, you're not going to change the world. But at least this one day you can intervene in one human being's life and try to make it a little bit better. And so there's quite a few families out there. The kids aren't going to get anything. They aren't going to get anything. And they're very humble. When you look at some of these lists, these kids put together, there's like one item. you know, maybe 2 items, you know. So I'm going to do what I can do, and that's what I've always done. And anybody that really knows me knows that that's just how I am. That's how I am. And there have been people criticize me for it. There have been people told me I'm a fool, you know, that I'm a clown and I'm a fucking dumbass for just giving people money. And I know it's not for everybody. If somebody asks you for money, I know people say, oh, I'll buy them food. I'll do. That's a lot more involved. You're stepping out there further. For me, it's so much easier just to hand somebody whatever I have in my pocket, you know. If I only had a $100 bill, there have been times I just handed it to people because they really, really looked like they needed it. And more often than not, it's $10, or it might even be $5, whatever I have on me at the moment. If I encounter people like that, if they ask, most of the time, almost 100% of the time, I'm going to give it. You know, I'm not cutting my own throat. It's insignificant to me. Shit, I spend damn near almost fucking $10 almost every single time I get a coffee from Starbucks. Damn near it sometimes, you know, most of the time. So big deal. I don't get that coffee that day. You know, that's not going to stop me. I still get it. But that's what a charmed life it is compared to some people. And there would be people look at my life and say that, well, you're not doing that great. Well, if you think I'm not doing that great, I think I'm doing real good, and I'm blessed, and I'm grateful. I'm thankful. There are people that really aren't doing well. So if you still want to help out, if there's anybody out there, man, listen, I know a lot of you gave, a lot of you stepped up to the plate, and it made me feel really good, and I'm sure it made those we were able to reach out to feel good. Completely unexpected, you know. So, you know, whatever you can spare, $5, $10, $1, you know, go to www.guerrillawithacause.org and donate. And if you do, I can assure you that that money is either, depending on how much we come up with, that money might put heat in somebody's home. That money, most likely, I doubt that we're going to accumulate that much now, but that money will put something under the tree for a few children that otherwise may not have anything at all. So that's all. It's not heavy. It's not huge. If you don't want to help out, if you just don't feel comfortable doing that, do that. There's no harm. There's no foul. You're not harming anybody by not helping out or not participating. You're not doing any harm. You're not doing any harm. But you could maybe help. It's up to you. I'm not, you know. Anyway, let's, you know, you got to look out for family first. You got to look out for what you got first. Everybody's got to feed themselves. Everybody's got bills to pay and a house to heat. So, but I want to thank you and let you know I appreciate it. I appreciate the hell out of it, and I'm sure those that we touch, I know they appreciate it. You guys take care. Have a wonderful evening. And Merry Christmas.